One of those days today.
All right, I started the recording, Vinny. You can go.
Okay. Being 7 o'clock, I'd like to open the meeting for the Bellingham Board of Health for February 7th, 2023. Myself, Vin 40 Chair, Vice Chair Trish LeClaire, Member Mike Hennessy, Agent Bruce Wilson, Food and Tobacco Agent Robert Griffin III, Minutes Clerk Laura Renaud, and anybody else. Welcome to the meeting. Okay, first order of business is minutes from January 24th, which I haven't looked at yet, so. Okay. How's everybody doing with the minutes?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good too.
Okay, you want to make a motion?
Yeah.
Motion.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Okay. Second on that?
I second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried. Thanks. Okay, next business item is the 2024 budget final version to finance for approval. So. Okay.
Vinny, is Thursday a good day? Are we gonna be able to go sit with them on Thursday?
I guess we could do Thursday, yeah. What time?
Okay, all right, I'll let Dennis know.
Okay, yeah, Thursday's probably better than tomorrow. I gotta be back out at the Rentham
Yeah,
Road site.
I told him you had a project you were working on.
Okay.
You guys don't vote or anything on it. That's just our final version that Vinny will speak to finance about. You already approved those changes.
Okay. So we'll meet with Dennis and then we'll have a finance meeting sometime after that. Is that how it's gonna work, Bruce?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, I guess I don't have anything outstanding to add to this. Anybody else?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
Just to recap quickly, that would go from 175 per month for the two members to what do we say, Laura? One, or it goes one the 200, is that, I forget what it is, Laura. We talked about it today too.
Yeah, you have down here in a sticky, it says change share from 200 to 250.
Okay,
150 to 175.
that's it. 150 to 175. All right. And
Okay,
then we matched Laura's overtime with what Michelle was
Okay.
getting.
now if we did, I was gonna say, usually the chair only gets 50 more. So is that still gonna be the same if we only bring members from 150 to 175? Shouldn't members be at 200? Laura, what do you think?
I think those were the numbers that we talked about earlier, so that's exactly
Okay.
what I put in there. So we can
Okay.
change it or
Yeah, we
leave
could
it.
change it. I mean, it's usually the chair only gets 50 a month more. So basically, I think if it's 150 now, it should be 200 for members, and then 200 to 250 it's, you know, it's that 50 differential. I'm not sure how the math came out, but that's the way it usually is. So it seems to me like now there's a 75 increase, you know. I don't need it, and I'm some future chairs won't need it. It's you know, we just have that little plus there because, you know, there can be a lot of interesting things happening during the year. So, so I don't know, maybe we should work that out and see if the math still comes out to, the stipend going from 3 to 42, or if it needs to go to 44 to add the 25 extra for the 2 members. It'd be 50 times 12 be 600, so.
So you want to increase the request for the members for another, how much more?
25, yeah, I would just do it. I mean, if they're at 150 now, and the other one's 200, it should remain the same differential. 150 should be 200. The chair's getting 250. So that would be the same. Right now, it's 200 and 150. So it's $50, basically. So I think we should change that to 200. 150 to 200. So it's the same percentage increase, but it still keeps the same differential that we always had for, I don't know, many years. It's been a
Yeah,
long time.
I'll make that change
Okay,
on the budget.
great. Thank you. Anybody else? That good?
All good.
Okay. So next thing is the 2023 permit updates. Is that
Okay,
also on
cool.
that sheet as well, Laura? Or is that the next sheet? Figure out, okay. I have to find it because my next thing was Robbie's thing. Let's see what we got here.
I can give you a quick synopsis of the.
Yeah, go ahead, Bruce.
We
Yeah.
have a total of
There's
two hundred
really
and
no
five permits.
printout. I'm sorry, Bruce, there's really no printout. It was just, we were gonna talk about where we were at,
Oh, okay.
okay?
So Bruce, you want to do that or Laura, you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
do
no, I
that?
got it.
Okay,
I was just
go ahead.
playing with the numbers here. We had 205 permits that were issued in the course of January. Of that, 16 were septics, 7 have been installed, 9 are in process. We have 8 of those permits waiting for the collector to sign off. Once the collector signs off, then we can put it into a waiting for payment status. Currently, there are 15 in the waiting for payment status, but all of the permits have been in and are being processed or applied for.
Okay, so you said septics. What about food and
Yes,
tobacco?
I didn't break them all out as to what were food establishments.
Okay.
But I mean, we're a total of 205 permits that were issued.
Oh, okay, 16 was septic, so the rest are food and tobacco. Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody's, I guess, current, the situation, Rob, you can enter into this that we had with, what's it called? Save More and for vets. They're both currently permitted. Whatever they did not butt heads because they're 500 feet apart. So we don't have any problem with that, right? They're all set, or is that not true?
Well, so Save More is definitely all set. I know that they came in and they set up a payment arrangement. I still have not gotten the license from the state for vets. They haven't updated it, but that it could just be because the state is behind. They just haven't generated a new report with all of the license holders. I didn't know if we wanted to basically hold it as anyone that applied for their permit prior to the end of the 30 days, as long as everything is in order, then we can issue it, just to kind of avoid some issues.
Yeah,
because
I'm for that, you know, because I think we had said first one in, but if they've applied and there's an issue with the state sending out a license and the state's probably behind for a variety of reasons, I don't have any problem with that. What about you, Trish and Mike?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either.
No issues here.
Okay, thanks.
All the paperwork is in. It's just a matter of waiting on the state.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm good with that. Okay, so
Robbie, how many, do you know off the top of your head, how many food establishments and tobacco permits that we should have? So we can kind of figure out. Because Bruce said we had, what, 250 that came in, 16 were, did you say 16, Bruce, were septic?
Hold on.
yeah,
16.
he did.
16
205
septic.
came in.
Yep.
Oh, 205
right?
or 250?
I think it's
205.
205 is what you said, Bruce, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. So then, Robbie, can you let us know how many food establishments and tobacco permits that we have for each?
Yeah, I mean, tobacco's 30. We are at our
Okay.
cap, so we should
Okay.
have all 30. Food, I don't know off the top of my head, just because it fluctuates quite often. Whether someone's status changes or if there is a new place or things just falling off here and there. I can get you an official count just so that we can double check everything. But generally, I go off of what's in permit ice. So
Yeah, I think it'd just be good for us to like see the numbers, right? Make sure that everything
Yeah.
matches.
6.
Yeah, I think what we don't want to have is someone went beyond the 30 and not so much like it's already a couple of weeks, but we don't find out about it till the end of the month and then they're a month behind or more. Okay, yeah, see if you can get that to us, Rob. I think that'll be good for the next meeting, I guess.
yeah, I have a list on my end here that I had created that's from a couple years ago, so I can go in and update it with the ones that I know have either opened or closed and cross reference it to what's in the system.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, I guess there's a vote to approve food and tobacco agent Robbie Griffin III. One of you guys want to make a motion? We can sign this.
Yep. So I make a motion to approve Robbie Griffin III as a town employee, correct?
Okay.
For
Yes.
food
Town
and
employee, right.
food and tobacco.
I second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay. So Bruce, can you get this to Trish
Yeah,
and
I'll get that downstairs, so
Mike?
they got that squared away now.
okay,
Thank you.
okay, I'll make sure that's in the package back out there.
Yeah. Let
okay.
me know. Let me know. I'll try to swing by and grab it.
Yeah, I'll put it in. I'm leaving tomorrow from this house at 7, so if you want to pick it up, it'll be in the door.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, 740 Pulaski Boulevard update. I see we have a report in there.
Yeah, there's a report in there from Captain Donovan.
Okay, got it.
It's kind of, he doesn't have a whole heck of a lot to offer other than he
Right,
believes
right.
that it doesn't warrant taking it into DEP.
Okay. Okay, you didn't think so, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, I guess at that point, we may end up hearing from the owner that he did clean up the spill that was outside there, I guess, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you go by, Vinny, it's substantially picked up over there.
Okay, I
quite a
haven't
bit.
gone by, but I think I'll drop by there just to check it out, so.
Okay, I mean, all the drums are gone. There
Good.
was a big pile of tires last I was there, but they were coming in to grab those, so everything
Okay.
else has been picked up.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the tires. It was that oil in front of the garage door, the oil over now near where the dumpster used to be, and another spot of oil, either in the wetland or within 5 to 10 feet of the wetland. So, okay.
But take a ride by. If you let me know, I'll meet you out there if you want.
Yeah, okay. I can probably do that tomorrow sometime.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now tobacco agent updates, tobacco regulation and vaping permits. Robbie.
So at this point, I have not gotten the final version back from council yet. Everything's just sent in as we approved at the last meeting. I'm just waiting for a hard copy for you guys to sign.
Okay, so we're waiting on that again. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I guess I'm just flipping back over to 740. I'm looking at this. I guess I'm not sure. Someone said that they were burning the stuff. I don't know. That was 5522. I don't know. It was Tom Mason. Anybody know who that is? Okay. Oh, that might be the neighbor next door, right?
Yeah, that's his direct neighbor.
Direct neighbor. Okay, if you're facing the building, it's to the left-hand side, the blue house, I believe. Okay.
Yeah,
And that might have been before or after I responded when the water department was trying to figure out how 1 million gallons of water got put up somehow, through that meter. It was, the good news, it was after the meter, so he got billed for it, or he will get billed for it. Anyway, okay, I'm good with that. Let's see. Hang on, losing track here. Okay. Hey, the next item was food grading system, Rob, and anything on that? Or that's just simply on our goals?
Yeah, that's a goal item for now.
Okay, fine.
I do have some inspections I can update you on if you'd like. I know that there's nothing under the inspector updates, but I figured
Yeah, no, go
put
ahead.
them in there.
Throw it in there.
I know that Laura sent over to me, I assume it went to the whole board, that there was a complaint last week in regards to Arigna, that someone had claimed that they had potential, I don't know if they actually claimed food poisoning, but they claimed that they were sick for about 48 hours after they had eaten there. So I did a full inspection last week. There were some temperature issues that I found, primarily in their flip tops. It's a smaller kitchen, which is, common for most of the places around town. But the proximity of the flip top to the oven was causing it to have an issue with maintaining its temperature, and they were leaving the lid open for prolonged periods of time. So the whole unit was out of temperature when I went in. There's also just some couple other housekeeping things that we went over, like them not being able to store any items in the ice. They were serving ice. They were chilling some bottles in, which presents an issue for potential, glass mixing and things like that, and just contamination from contact. But besides that, it was several smaller things, but that one unit was of concern. So I spoke to the owners. They were actually there at the time of the inspection, and they were addressing it. And I'm going to be stopping by this week to make sure that everything is functioning properly.
Yeah. Were the bottles like for employees chilling it, or was it stuff they used to, let's say chilling stuff that they used to put on food? Do you know what it was? 'Cause certainly cross contamination's an issue there.
It was actually bar items. So
bar items. Okay.
I think the mixes and things like that go to the bar. They had them in a plastic tub inside of the ice well. But I informed them that they need to have those in a separate area because you can't obviously mix the two.
Yeah.
So they do have a separate chilling station that they added them to.
Okay.
So that was, addressed at that time. But that unit is something that they're going to be keeping an eye on. They actually went and bought one of the thermal cameras that I use so that they could keep an eye on it while they're walking by.
Okay. So the other thing is your flip top grill. Is that what you said? When a flip top, it's a grill.
It's actually the cooling station. So
the cooling station. Okay.
The sandwich stations, but the flip top coolers.
Okay. So they're right near the heater. Or the heat pot. Okay.
They're probably about 4 to 5 feet away max.
Okay.
So
that had an effect on it, right? It dropped the temp on, or not? It was out of temp.
It caused it to overheat.
Okay, got it. Okay. So I guess that the person that claimed to be ill, Laura, did we get any more news from her or Bruce? Did she go to hospital, or did she just?
no, we did not, and she put the complaint in 2 weeks after they had eaten there.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was kind of like, they could have just had a stomach bug. I don't know.
Yeah.
They just had stomach issues for 48 hours, but they didn't tell us until 2 weeks later.
Okay, well, that's not too good. Because at that point, there's no way we can really do anything other than Rob going in, doing an inspection, finding a few things. I'll make the assumption, Rob, that those few things that you found probably wouldn't or would not have caused, let's say, like a stomach issue?
There was potential.
Potential.
The specific item that the complainant named was actually one of the items that's stored in that cooler. So I won't say 100% it was, but I
Okay.
also won't deny that it wasn't. It
Right.
could have been that, or it very well could have been a stomach bug, like Laura stated. So
Okay, but it could be,
it's-
so that simply is one of those items that was in there, and I guess it's potentially, so it was more from drink or food or both? It was more
it
from
was
drink?
more from food. So that
okay.
that particular cooler actually held their fish stocks as well as some of their meats, and then up top was a lot of their deli meats and such. So everything in that cooler was above
Okay.
the recommended temperature.
Okay. Okay, well, for a new place, I guess, that's something they should have made sure they had everything working. Okay, so I guess that's it, Rob, on those things?
Aside from that, the only other issues I've been running into, and I'm assuming partially contributed to the weather we've been having, is a lot of the hand washing sinks aren't up to temperature at most of these places. I know that we require a minimum of 105 degrees, but a lot of them are 10 or more degrees off, and I'm assuming it's just from the weather we've been having.
Okay.
But no, for the most part, everything was good. I did 20 inspections since our last meeting. The only notable ones were Arigna and Honeydew, actually on North Main, had some additional temperature issues from a very similar style unit. So
Okay.
I know that there's something I've mentioned in the past that I think it's just a design flaw with those units, because they try to refrigerate everything that's above the food as soon as that lid is opened. So they lose their temperature control very quickly.
So should they be using that? You think we should recommend they get something better,
I honestly don't know what they would replace it with. I think that their biggest key is just making sure that it's either always covered when they're not using it, or if they cover
Okay.
the individual items themselves. Sometimes that helps with the temperature control. They're just very finicky.
Okay, so obviously, maybe more of it was they weren't closing it when they were opening and using it.
Yeah, at the time when I walked in, they weren't using the system, and it was at both locations. And they were wide open, and that's,
Okay.
not doing anything but asking for problems. So
Right.
they were reminded to close it in between every use.
What were the other people, they have similar situations? What are they using? Totally different thing, or they just?
Most of them are using those identical units.
Okay.
I believe that there's basically one in every restaurant in town, or some variation of it.
Okay.
The only difference is that some of them leave them shut when not in use, or some of them have flipped over to putting individual lids on each item, which just, it helps a little bit, but ideally you have to have it closed.
Yeah, so that sounds like everybody has similar units or the same unit, and just two of them have not doing best management practices, not, like you said, remind them to close it. And I think, when you do your re-inspection, hopefully they've got it closed when they're not using it.
The other thing I'd mentioned to them, and I've mentioned it to any of the places that have them, is that they should have a timer on top of it. So every hour they keep a backup of all the stock that they keep in it, so that they could just switch it out, whether they put it into the lower unit or into the walk-in. So that way they don't have any temperature control issues.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good idea. Okay, so we're all set on that, Rob, and we'll get the other numbers from you later. Okay, so now Laura, I guess we are and Bruce, we have our DPH intern search. Nothing new on that, right? We think it's probably going to be, I don't know, closer to, we'll get a word maybe before September, of course, because that's when I think usually an intern is doing stuff. However, it's very likely some schools like Northeastern, they could do it as a summer project because they're not having classes as much. And, whatever. We'll have to see what happens. Where.
Yeah, I can start checking back at the end of spring and just keep on top of it. See if they have anything for the summer.
Right. Okay. Because like I said, a DPH is going to gather these people probably from a university or college that's running either a master's or a PhD program. And, getting one, I think, will be a benefit to the town, certainly. They can track a lot of things that we basically don't have time to track at this point. Or we'd be ill suited to track it, I would say. Okay, so let's see, I seem to have lost page 2 here. Hang on. So we have plans somewhere here.
No plans. All the
Oh,
plans
no-
that
no
came in
plans,
were
okay.
all
Okay.
able to be signed.
Okay, so Mike or Trish, do you want to make a, what do you call it, a motion to pay Robert Griffin Enterprise Holdings? It's overdue $1,500 in food inspections.
Motion to, Griffin Enterprises, the $1,500.
Okay,
I second that.
okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, so carried.
Actually, a quick thing for you guys on that
Go
one. That is my most recent invoice, so that's what for the ones the inspections I just did.
Oh, okay,
It's not overdue. But
okay, got
I
it.
wasn't sure how to submit it because I knew that my payroll status was changing with me going back to an employee status again. So
Right.
I figured I would still be sending in an invoice to you all so that you could see basically what's
Right,
being done. But that was just how it was submitted for this one.
Okay.
Actually, can I bring that up?
Yeah.
Is Tim on here? No. Oh,
Tim's
he
here.
is Tim.
Yeah.
Okay. So me
Yeah.
and Bruce were also talking about how he's gonna get paid through the town. So, is it gonna be Tim that signs off on it? Is it gonna be Bruce that signs off on it?
So, I was gonna ask you, I was gonna ask Rob if I could address him as, for the list of the inspection. I didn't know if he had already sent it to Laura. So we could get so I can get an idea of which places are being done, so we can kind of track it a little bit, better. I didn't know. Rob, did you already send that in to Laura?
I was gonna say I tried to send it over to everybody earlier, but I'm having some severe issues with the internet here. I can try to resend it again. Actually, while we're here, I did an Excel spreadsheet so that I could keep track of which ones were done. So I can just forward you that spreadsheet.
Oh, yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah.
So, okay, so then what will be the plan from there? So he'll send over the spreadsheet so you know what inspections were done, and then you'll sign it off, Tim, or
I can. It's not a problem.
Bruce. It doesn't
Bruce.
matter to me, but I figured like keeping things, the same for everyone, it just seems easier for me, but
I think what we should do moving forward is take these inspections, and whether it be myself or Bruce sign off on them. I think we should just sit down for a few minutes and just go over them, whether it's the three of us, myself, Bruce and Laura, or the two of us, whoever's available, and just go over them quickly, just so we know, who's getting inspections, because when the phone rings and, people call, we can say, you know what, that inspection was that was just done, and if there's a complaint or something, we'll look into it. But at least we know, we have a knowledge of what's being inspected and what it was inspected for, and that kind of thing.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the final amount would go on the payroll form that I put in each week, since he's now going to be a weekly employee. So Bruce usually signs that
Yes.
payroll.
Definitely. So if it's going on that, Bruce will sign. If Bruce isn't there, I review it. So
Okay.
So
Just
this will be the
just so
last
we
one
all
where,
know how it works.
this will be the last one where Robbie's got the contractor status, so we won't be signing off on, we don't sign off on Bruce and Laura, so at that point.
okay, that's fine.
Bruce will do it, and if he's not around, Tim, you could do it, and that would.
Yep. Yeah, that's how we do it now. So
Yeah, we want to make sure Robbie gets paid. He's an
Yep.
employee now, so
Yep,
two
definitely.
ways. Okay. Okay, so the next item is paying Solomon VNA and Hospice their monthly invoice of $666.66.
Oh,
Wanna
that's
make
Forgot
that
that set, huh? Dang
That's-
it.
I did speak to them. They're gonna revise the invoice amount, so it's not the 666.
Well, here's what I thought of doing. If we just make it 666, carry the 66 cents till the end of the contract and subtract it by 12 times 66 cents.
Vinny, I suggest we went 667 and then make it up on the last invoice.
Okay, fine. It'll
okay.
be less then. You're right. Okay, we can do that.
All right.
Well,
667.
excuse me, but I have to put in the exact amount that's on the invoice or accounting will question me.
Okay,
So,
Okay, so we just have to keep it that way. It's
Yeah.
we'll
fine.
just keep it that way.
Unless they change the invoice, I have to keep it that way.
Okay,
But
All right.
Laura, they
Right,
were,
well-
gonna revise the invoice, so it read differently.
okay, yeah, if what Bruce is saying, if you revise the invoice, the contract's for 9,000, you divide out the
Right.
11 months of 667, and then the last month is gonna be, you know, let's say what? You know, it'll be 12 times, excuse me, yeah, 12 times whatever the difference is, 34 cents.
That
So-
should be easy
I
enough.
just,
Should be
I
easy enough
just
to do
didn't
that.
want to, when Mary from finance asked me, I didn't want to say it's because we're all superstitious.
Well, some of you
That
are,
just-
I'm not.
That
But,
just
you
didn't
know.
sound too professional, you know?
No, I agree.
No, it's fine. We can just keep it.
Okay,
So motion to approve the 6666.
Oh, geez. All right, I second that.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay. I'm
But Laura,
signing
give me
this
the
now.
Amazon bill.
Yep, let me just sign this off so I can jump over the next one. Okay, and those will be going back to you. Okay, so now we have an Amazon bill of $55.77 for whatever it is. Shipping and handling and item subtotal before tax $54.49. Okay, so it's a pack of large capacity paper for the Excel, the big printer. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so I can make a motion. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the Amazon bill for $55.77.
I second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye,
Aye.
opposed, abstained, so carried. Okay. I think that's it, right? Bruce, well, Laura, that should be it, right, for the agenda? Is there another one? No.
Oh, that's it. You covered it.
I had a couple things if I can just throw them
Go
out
ahead,
before
Rob.
we adjourn.
Go for it.
I had one question actually in regards to a tobacco permit holder.
Okay.
And it's because it's something that came up in the past. I
Okay.
know when we had granted the permit to the gas station on the north end of town. I know it's Bellingham Motor Works. I believe it's a Sunoco officially.
Yep.
We had given it to them with the stipulation that they had to get tobacco within 30 days because they weren't holding any products. They were just holding the permit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember that.
I was gonna say, I believe Trisha was actually the one that had suggested that. We've run into a similar situation with the Best Buds location on the south end of town, where they have no products. They don't have any intentions to open at this point, but they're still holding a permit. So they've had it for, I believe, a year and a half now. Haven't
yeah.
opened, and they've now renewed again. I didn't know if we wanted to put a similar timeline or stipulation.
I think
on
we
anything,
have to,
just-
because you have to play fair with everybody.
Yeah,
Agreed?
keep it the same.
Yeah,
Yep, I
keep it the
just say
same,
keep it
yeah.
the same. And plus, I mean, they're basically holding this permit hostage. If someone else wants to
Correct.
open up a business and get a permit, they can't because these people are holding it hostage. So,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah,
same.
I would give them 30 days, Rob, from today or tomorrow rather. And if they don't have a permit in hand, product in hand, then the permit will be rescinded, you know. So,
Okay. I can reach out to the owners and let them know. And then I did just have a separate question / update for you. I know that at the last meeting we had discussed, I don't know if Tim is still on the meeting as well, potentially setting up a meeting with the gentleman at Food Code Pro to see if maybe we could integrate the softwares or potentially move forward with a different one, because we were having issues with Permit Eyes, and that would also streamline the process of having all of the inspections in the system. But when I reached out, they informed me that we had an overdue invoice. I know that we had signed on to have their housing code program for this year, but I couldn't find in the minutes whether or not we had approved it. So is that something that we have to add on to the next meeting or the next agenda, or is that something that we can you
Can we-
know,
Can we do it
pay
tonight?
is approved.
Was it, it's a past due invoice, right, Robbie?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Laura, do you know anything about that?
I don't, but it should have been paid at that time, and I could look into it tomorrow.
okay.
Yeah. We'll have to look.
So I don't know, we could do it two ways. I don't want to see us waiting till the next meeting because then, we can't, you can't have that meeting with Tim and you and Laura about this program thing to get it fixed. I don't know. What do you think?
Do we know how much the invoice is for?
Right.
3,600, I believe. Does that sound right?
I was
That's
gonna
the
say,
past,
bear with me.
that's the
Bear with me
past
for
due.
1 second here.
Yeah.
I believe that he sent me a copy of it, so let me just go in here and
Perfect, yeah.
see if I
We'll just
have
approve
access
that.
to it.
Right.
Like, how past due is it? It's gonna be a while.
It would have been it would have been from June.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We're being as bad as some of the places that didn't renew their permits. Wow. Well, pay them.
I mean, I think Laura should definitely look to make sure that we didn't pay it and they have it on their end as we didn't pay.
Right,
Because,
right. Oh,
you know,
yeah, that's a
that
good
can
point. Yeah.
We don't want to go paying them twice, so.
Yeah,
Correct.
'cause you think they would have contacted one of us since last June.
Right, right.
They did. They contacted me.
Okay, okay.
But he contacted me recently. At the time, I told him that, well, originally when he contacted me, I informed him we weren't going continuing with food code because we had moved over to the other system.
Right.
But we had made the agreement to do the housing code. And then when I reached out to have the other to have a conversation with him recently is when he informed me that we were past due. But he had tried
Okay.
to reach out
Okay.
a couple times, I guess, to the office and let them know. But he reached out to me directly.
Hopefully it's not a bill from a prior year.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It
'cause-
would.
Yeah,
It would have been for 6/1/2022, which I believe is this fiscal year.
6/1 is, yeah, but it's in, the
we're
cutoff.
going to fiscal year 24 now, right, Tim?
The cutoff is June 30th for
Yeah.
22.
Yeah,
But we could use the revolving fund possibly to pay it if that's the case.
right. We could do that. We could. Do
If
that.
you've paid it that way in the past, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so let's look
Correction.
into, let's figure out, let us look at it and see if maybe it's an error on their side, maybe it's an error on ours. Let's figure it out first.
Right. Can we do this way or just like, we could make the motion to approve the 36 pending a review to see if we paid it?
Yeah, sure, why
Yeah,
not?
just so they don't have to wait another month, because in the meantime, Robert will get nothing with the housing code. The food, we're all set. We're going to use the other program as we have it. But the food code, we wanted to add to permitize, because a lot of times, Tim, you and Bruce will go out on different things,
Yep.
for housing. And it's still the same department, but it's from a different aspect,
No, I get it.
And
Yeah,
we gotta have that,
why don't you make the motion to approve the payment of
Okay.
it if it is overdue? Yeah.
Okay. One of you guys want to do that?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve the payment pending review.
Okay.
All right, I second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried. So anything else, Rob?
I believe that is all. I was going to say
Okay.
the invoice that they sent to me was a copy of the old invoice. So it looks like they sent it over to the office on 6/1
Yeah.
for the date of 7/1.
Oh.
But I don't know if it was just never voted on or if we weren't keeping up with them. So they had just reached out and said that we had a past due one because they never
Yeah.
turned off our service.
Okay.
So that was all.
Well, that's good. The other thing too is that, Tim, correct me, or actually Laura, maybe, residents, when we have a department that overruns our fiscal thing, going to a past one, doesn't have to go to town meeting, get what they call that.
If it's a bill from a prior service, if the
Right.
services were provided prior to June 30th,
Right,
July 1st, then it's a bill from a prior year. It has to be approved at town meeting.
correct.
That's
Which
how it
means they
works.
would wait another 3 or 4 months. Yes.
Well, if it
If-
was an invoice that was billed for services, you know, if they bill not in the rears, if they bill upfront, then, and it was for 7/1, then it's fine.
We're fine. Okay, fine.
It was billed up front. It was for service that would take us from 7/1 until 6:30 of this
Oh,
year.
okay, so we're all set.
So that's okay. Yeah.
I misunderstood it. I thought it was like, oh geez, you know. They're gonna wonder, what the heck are we doing? Okay, but we're good. Okay, so anybody else have anything else? If not, need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Right,
second. Second, Trish?
Second that.
Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, abstained, so carried. Hey, guys, have a good night. We're
Thank you.
adjourned.
Bye.